Scientists from all over the world are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday. CBS News correspondent Sheila McVicker has the latest on the mystery.
When China's skies forced Zhoushan Airport to stop operations on July 7th. Outbound flights were grounded after the unidentified flying object was detected by a flight crew. The incident has captured the attention of Chinese media. Theories about the UFO's identity are burning up on the internet as well.
Here in New York City, a sighting that had even jaded New Yorkers scratching their heads. A mysterious silver shiny object, or objects it seems, floating in the sky yesterday. You can see all the people stopped in the street there in their tracks looking at it. Some folks say they saw lights.
You have to see what our cameras caught on tape. Look closely enough at this week's giant dust storm and you can see the two bright lights whizzing by right in front of it. Tonight, they're catching a lot of attention and getting international buzz. ABC 15's Christopher Sun.
Is that, yo? That's not no Chinese fucking lantern.
That is really crazy. What is that?
Oh my.
This astonishing video.
Å, fy fader! Jeg filmer det! Jeg har det på tape! Jeg har det her! Å, dame!
A las 7, a la misma altura.
Hay unas nubes ahí, se ve de ver esto.
Pero, a ver, busquen eso que viene atrás de nosotros.
Ve cómo se ve como en dos fotos.
Tiene como a las 7, 8 de la posición. Lo raro es que trae una punta adelante. Un puntito adelante.
A ver, ¿qué tenemos? Nada, señor.
A ver, permítame, déjale busco.
I've seen like 6 bright orange color lights, and they're like almost in a diamond or triangle shape. It was weird, and so they started just separating.
There was no sound. That's the funny thing.
Or the lights, the usual lights.
No sound, no blinking lights, just this big illuminated form.
And whatever it was moved up and to the left. It hovered there for probably about 60 seconds. And then it took off at a high rate of speed, out of sight, directly away from us, and just disappeared.
Alright, there's horrible audio because I don't have my mic, but I have no idea what the fuck that was. What are your best guesses at what that was?
That's UFO.
Like, was it close or was it really, really far? Because it looked really close.
It looked really close.
Yeah, it's still fucking, you know,
Y'all need to be shooting that. Y'all need to be shooting this shit right here. They looking at us. They dividing. They dividing up. We getting invaded. Those are not for, look at that shit. They are sitting. Y'all need to be calling damn news.
Check this out.
Yeah, check this out. What the heck is that phenomenon hovering over the airport in Miami? The video, taken by the airport ground crew and posted online, is launching all sorts of rumors on social media, with comments like, "They are coming," and "Welcome to the world of aliens."
I ain't never seen anything like that. See if I can show the hotel here. There's the hotel, and these things are all jumping around.
On, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Now, Mr. Davis had this to say. He now works for Aerospace Corporation. He said he gave a classified briefing to the Defense Department agency as recently as March about retrievals from, quote, off-world vehicles not made on this Earth.
Started here, and then he flew and curved down this way. Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning. Yeah. Yeah, see him? I'm lasering on that. And he's curving.
And that allowed people who keep these secrets. That pressure meant that people in Congress started asking questions. I interviewed Senator Harry Reid, who was the one who got the money to create that program that became ATIP.
Up front now, the former Pentagon military official who ran the covert government program up until this last November, Luis Elizondo. I mean, first, tell us what the purpose of the program was and why it was so secretive.
Sure. The purpose of the program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, was really designed to do just that. From a national security perspective, identify those things that we see, whether we see them electro-optically, we see them with radar, we see them as eyewitness reports, through a myriad of different ways and avenues that we receive the information, and try to ascertain and determine if that information is a potential threat to national security, in a nutshell.
So what did you find?
We have identified some very, very interesting, anomalous type of aircraft, let's call them aircraft. Things that don't have any obvious flight surfaces, any obvious forms of propulsion, hypersonic velocities, low observability, positive lift, again, seemingly in defying the laws of aerodynamics.
He said his phone had been ringing off the hook from other members of Congress who are now suddenly interested. I didn't know there was a program, they're telling him. How do we learn more about this? It started a series of closed-door briefings on Capitol Hill that continue to this day. The pilots, like Dave Fravor.
Tell us what you saw.
Well, we had launched on a routine training mission on a clear, perfect day, blue waters. We get out to the spot where they tell us it's at. We start looking around, and both airplanes see a disturbance in the water and a white 40-foot long tic-tac shaped object just hovering above the water, going forward, back, left, right. There's no rotor wash, there's no wings, nothing. So as we drive around in a clockwise flow, we get to about the 9 o'clock position, and I said, well, I'm going to go down and check it out, and the other jet is going to stay high. So as we go down, when we get to the 12 o'clock position, it starts to mirror us. So it's in a clockwise flow, and it's on the opposite side of the circle from us. And we continue this. It's in a climb, we're in a descent, we're getting a great look at it. This whole thing takes about probably up to 5 minutes from the time we show up. I get over to the 8 o'clock position, it's at about the 2 o'clock position, and I decide I'm going to go and see what it is, and it's about 2,000 feet below me. And I cut across the circle, and as I get within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerates to the south in about 2 seconds and disappears.
What would you estimate the speed?
Oh, well above supersonic. It like a bullet out of a gun, it took off.
So from what you know about aerodynamics, mechanics, physics, should this be possible, what you saw?
Not with the technology that we have today.
The pilots, like Dave Fravor, were hauled before Congress, first in front of the staff of the Senate Intelligence and then Senate Armed Services, and then the elected members, these senators who get briefed on it, and they were impressed, and they wanted more pilots to come in. So it's been going on for 2.5 years, and 2 weeks ago, about a month ago now, the culmination of it, Senator Marco Rubio, who is now the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, drops this bill, and it's the budget for the intelligence budget for the next year, and he includes a UFO provision in there. Congress wants to have a mechanism set up where we get regular briefings from the Pentagon on UFOs. That's an astonishing change of events. It's because of the media pressure and then congressional interest. It made it more acceptable for everybody to pursue the subject matter. It's kind of out of the shadows. And the Pentagon has reacted in fits and starts. So sometimes, as they said to the New York Times, that program ended. Had nothing to do with UFOs. At first they said it did, then they said it didn't. They've admitted Lou Elizondo worked on the program, then they said he didn't. Some of it stems back to Lazar. So we did that story in the series in '89. One of the first people to call me after that was a guy I'd never heard of before named Robert Bigelow, a billionaire. He calls me up and says, I was really interested in that. I've been interested in UFOs for a long time. Can I help you? Meaning, can he help fund me? I said, I work for a TV station. I don't need any help. But he was not to be deterred. He then reached out to Lazar. They had a little...
some paperwork that indicated that this was from the Zeta Reticuli star system. Now, the amount of power we're dealing with is astronomical. I mean, to affect gravity, to produce the effects like this equipment does, takes huge amounts of power. Well, they knew there was a fuel source in it, and they were proficient at making it work. The hemisphere is removed. There's a small tower in the middle. When you put the hemisphere on, the reactor activates. The reactor shuts down. It's load sensing.
How many of these things did they have?
They had nine craft altogether. I only got hands-on with one of them, so I can't really say what how the others operated.
Did you see the other ones?
Yeah. At one time, and only one time, the bay doors that between the hangars were all open, and I could see all the way through.
And were they all exactly the same?
No, they were all different.
Different shapes?
Yeah.